We are told drought is just weather. The weather people on the telly are telling us drought and that we're going to get 40-degree weather in a comical style in apparently or supposedly 2040. Which has been proved wrong as scientists cannot make their minds up the hot and the cold climate change of the Earth. We are told data centers are future and that Britain must become an AI superpower. We are told greenbelt protections can be relaxed for the right kind of development. If you actually look closer and a different picture appears. A country short of water is simultaneously expanding the infrastructure that consumes large volumes of it for cooling. Land was meant to stay open is being redesigned so that server farms can go up. And behind the practical questions of water and planning sits a larger technological ambition. Even more powerful AI systems, even more surveillance capability, and, for a small number of people at the top, the dream of extending life or even uploading consciousness into some form of digital continuity. I remember someone like David Clues of the UNN stream mentions about the film Oblivion, a future where advanced systems drains the planet's resources while the surface bare. We are not just there yet, but the direction of travel is visible if you are willing to look at water meters, the planning decisions, and the stated goals of people building these systems. As of late July 2026, the Environmental Agency has declared drought across large parts of central, eastern and southern England. The whole of Wales is in the same position. July is on the course to be one of the driest on record. River flows are well below normal, reservoir levels have fallen, and millions of people are already on restrictions. Farmers face feed shortages and early harvest, wildfire risk is high. Large heathland and fires have already burned through of the acres of the summer. Into the distressed system, the government and the tech sector are adding a new, rapidly growing demand: data centers. These facilities generate intense heat and most of them use water, sometimes large volumes of it, for cooling, especially during heat waves. Industry and government reports show that AI-related compute is expected to drive significant increases in both energy and water usage. In some cases, a single large centre can consume as much as water in a day as thousands of households. The water industry itself has warned that the country does not have enough spare capacity for the scale of data centre expansion currently planned. Yet the expansion continues. When ordinary households are told to start watering their gardens, the servers that train and run large AI models are treated as essential infrastructure. They will talk about needing to save grandma, just as it did with COVID, by telling that AI powers, which by the way have nothing to do with AI, and more to do with communication with managed services than it is to do with a big data centre. The pressure is not only on water, it is on land. Greenbelt protections that were meant to stop urban sprawl are being loosened for data centre projects. In London, the Draft London plan has opened the door to data centres in the Greenbelt under certain conditions. In other parts of the country, ministers have intervened or local councils have been pressed to approve schemes on land previously refused for development. The language is shifting. What was once strictly protected is being reframed as grey belt or underused lands that can be sacrificed for digital infrastructure. This is happening at the same moment the country is short of water and short of housing land for its own population. The priority being revealed is not food security, not local water resilience, and not the preservation of open countryside. It is the rapid construction of physical footprint required by AI and cloud computing. Once the concrete is poured and the fibre is laid, the water demand becomes permanent. The drought is being used, whether deliberately or by convenient timing, as background noise while planning system is bent toward a new class of industrial user. The practical problems of water and land sit inside a larger technological project. AI systems already require continuous energy and cooling, of which the UK cannot keep up with. As they grow more capable, they also become more useful for monitoring, prediction and control. The infrastructure of surveillance at scale. At the same time, a strand of thinking in Silicon Valley and among some of the wealthiest technologies openly discusses longevity, mind uploading, and the possibility of digital continuity after biological death. Whether or not these goals are achievable, the direction of investment and the rhetoric is clear. Ever more compute, even more data, even more infrastructure. The environmental cost is not abstract. Training and running large models consumes electricity and water. We all know that. Expanding the physical plant to support them means more data centers in places that are already water stressed. The cultural reference point is not hard to find. In the film Oblivion, featuring Tom Cruise, advanced systems drain planetary resources while the surface is left damaged and depleted. We do not need to accept every speculative claim about elite immortality or simulation to see if the concrete pattern is right in front of us. A drought-stricken country is being asked to prioritise the cooling needs of their infrastructure over the basic resilience of its own water supply and landscape. The people who benefit most from the system being built are not the ones facing hosepipe bans or watching their local fields and heathland burn. Water is short. The question of who gets to use it becomes political. Right now, the political answer appears to favour the servers. A society that cannot protect its water and remain in urban land while it's been great, races to build the next generation of AI is revealing its priorities. Those priorities are not long-term interests of the native population or the countryside. So anyway guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video about me talking about data centres being potentially built on greenbelt land, or it would be grey belt or brown belt, obviously in reference to the drought that we had. And obviously I've noticed a lot of fields in the UK have become very dry, including even gardens. And obviously to revive this, you need to use hosepipe. Now, obviously there were a lot of difficulties when, someone or even privatising water companies have made it a lot more easier for people to be fined and controlled. Because what's happened, from the neo-liberal type of people, like with Thatcher, have privatised water companies, it's made it a lot more easier for them to control the water, because when they were nationalised, you just pay your taxes and the government would be able to control the water. But now, because they've been privatised and there's different water companies, it's made it a lot more easier, including like with Thames Water and other companies that basically can control the water, especially because down south, because it is a lot more harder ground, there is less water. And because of this, it makes it a lot easier for them to make excuses and go, oh, we can build on here to create data centres. And I know there's quite a lot of data centres being built in the UK, or even migrant hotels to kill off the population, and also to do with trying to create an AI surveillance system. We've seen this happen in America, for example, like with Flock, which is like a private company where they create surveillance pretty easily, and people taking them down. Quite similar to ULEV cameras in the UK, but obviously they're different because they tax ordinary people that just want to drive down south and get taxed on basically pretty much just driving a car in order to stop emission. And yet, if you look at bigger cities like London, Birmingham or Leeds, they are completely utterly polluted, especially London because it's the worst out of anywhere in the country. And yet they have these supposed taxes to try and combat this and encourage people to be into electric cars, which obviously are harmful to the environment in my opinion, or have the potential to just end up in landfill, but I've talked about this in another video. And because of this, it makes it a lot more easier to control what people buy and also what people drive, and also to do with how the elites, in theory, want to create a super technology. And obviously someone like with Elon Musk, who wants to put a microchip in someone's brain, and also to do with the meta glasses that can easily scan people's faces. Technology is getting scarier and scarier. And in order to power this, they need all these data centers in order to create this surveillance system. And, this sounds like a conspiracy theory when it's actually in fact not, because all these people are basically batshit insane in bed schizophrenics, and because of this, they just want to basically be immortal and do diddling in a simulation so they can just continue doing it, which is, the type of group of people that I've talked about or referenced in other videos. And because of this, I think we need to try and protect our own land, including places that we could try and buy, and also try to create new societies on, including try to earn enough land so you can build a house, build something that's even more self-sufficient, as these people that are supposedly green want to virtue signal and really just want to grape us even more into oblivion. And as well, if you want to go in the link in the description below with links to my other channels and Discord as well.